Hello, everyone. Today we are sitting down with Jenna Den Hoed, a Red Seal chef, certified holistic nutritional consultant, and a culinary expert on celiac disease and food restriction. Her story starts with her celiac diagnosis at a very young age, wanting to take back the freedom and joy of food. She turned to CSNN's natural nutrition program and pivoted her culinary career to help her clients reclaim their health, energy, and joy of food, even if they have some strict food restrictions. Now, let's learn more about her story and how she uses her holistic nutrition education and culinary training to help nourish clients by using food to connect with others and themselves. Thank you so much, Jenna, for joining us today.
My pleasure. I'm really excited to talk to everybody that reaches this and tell my story about how nourishing my life is now with this education and how thrilled I am that I can combine my two loves of food and wellness together every single day.
Wonderful. Now, we're going to start with why did you choose to study holistic nutrition at CSN? I mean, there's so many schools out there, right? Why did you make that decision?
I definitely hit a breaking point in the culinary industry. I was diagnosed with celiac disease when I was 7. It was isolating and scary, but it did drive my passion to learn about food more, which pushed me into the food industry. When I got there, I was so surprised about the terrible quality of food. Everything comes out of plastic bags, and there's no nutrition facts. All the education of the staff was just like staggeringly horrible. Nobody was taught about cross-contamination or dietary restrictions. It was commonly a joke in the kitchen to have to create anything alternative for anybody with an allergy or restriction. So my many years of working in the culinary industry was so dissatisfying in so many ways. I felt like I was contributing to making people get sicker and sicker, and was not making the change I wanted to see to make sure people like me who are maybe adverse to going out and enjoying foods out because they're scared to eat somewhere that's safe and that won't make them feel like they're sick the day after. Um, I wanted to make sure that the food that I was making was safe for people and that they could really enjoy it. Um, my physical and mental health was definitely at the worst when I was in the culinary industry. Having to sell your soul and every weekend, every holiday, every back breaking labor that you had to do was just something I knew I couldn't stick out till I was 50. So I looked to pivot, and I knew that I wanted to learn more about how food affects my own body as somebody who definitely has gone through their fair share of healing my gut and figuring out what's going on with it and repairing it long term. So CSNN really grabbed my attention because it was a formal education, something that I could go into and learn resources, learn how to read research and data to stay on top of the ever-changing nutrition scene.
Mhm.
So I was really excited to find that out.
Very cool. Now, I mean, a lot of people, when they want to learn about nutrition, the reality of today, Dr. Google, right? We're like, well, I'll just like, I'll Google it, I'll get the information, what? Because you already had your culinary, right, certificate. So what made you want the formal education versus just using, the internet or chat GPT to create a celiac menu for you? Like, what made you choose that formal education over internet research?
That's a really good question. I think maybe more than most, I've had more of the Dr. Google background being pushed upon me of having to learn about celiac disease with maybe not that many resources long term. Um, so I already was kind of aware that the nutrition world was so vast, ever changing, and full of education. Whether or not it was good or bad education, you really didn't know if you weren't really certified. So I really wanted to go to a school that had professional standards and accolades that were research founded, that really educated the student on how to navigate that world clearly and be confident teaching other people about it.
Very cool. So once you decided you wanted that formal education, how did you choose CSNN? Like, did you attend an open house, reach out to a branch manager? How did you kind of get connected to the school?
CSNN was at the top of my list, actually, because I was completing my culinary apprenticeship during it. I
Mhm.
was working in kitchens in the day. They had the option of doing online evening or in-person evening. I was a special graduation class of in between COVID years where
Mm.
going in person was optional.
Yep.
And I loved both options. It was so flexible for somebody working full time. So it was great because it not only met all of my education standards, it did meet my flexibility and lifestyle needs as well.
Nice. That's great. That's great. So, how did CSNN and the Natural Nutrition Program help you in your career once you graduated?
It helped me honestly way more than I thought it would. I thought I'd have like a better understanding about how to navigate food, but as a chef, I'm able to look at a group of ingredients and know it tastes good together, the textures, the colors. And after my education at CSNN, I had this whole other dimension of awareness about food. I
Mhm.
was able to look at um, how each food and ingredient complements each other and utilizes energy in your body, how it utilizes nutrients, phytonutrients to nourish different parts and the holistic part of your body as well. I could look at ingredients and pick targeted nutrients to build a targeted symptomatic menu or dish for somebody.
Mhm.
So I felt like it was transcribing a lot of what I knew about food and using it more medicinally than anything for true nourishment. So I've really loved that awareness that it brought out in me and my own body too, not just the food aspect,
Yeah.
but the holistic part too of not having to work weekends and holidays and spending your body like it's something that you can refresh and recharge like a battery. It's something that you really do need to maintain
Mhm.
to heal over time, take rest, and find out what holistic things you can do in your lifestyle to get through some of the symptoms that you are having.
I love that. Now, when you were in school, were there any particular courses, or lessons that really resonated with you? You're like, whoa, I loved this.
Oh my gosh, so many. I loved having the foundation of anatomy and physiology really helped with everything. Just
Yeah.
learning about how everything is so interconnected,
Mhm.
specifics of all the different body systems was super interesting. I loved symptomatology as well, pairing that with AMP as well. It gave me so much more awareness about all of the different things happening in our body and how we can address them on top of mainstream medicine, how we as individuals can take a bit of control over our own wellness. So those two are probably my favorite. I wasn't expecting to enjoy eco-science as much as I did. I feel like now I have so much more understanding about how food is grown. Even though
Mhm.
unfortunately I have black thumbs, I'd like to think in my heart I could be a gardener.
Yeah, yeah. So good. Yeah, so good, so good. So, I mean, you mentioned a little bit about how this education has really enhanced your existing career as a chef, being able to have that different perspective. How are you now using these two worlds, the culinary and the holistic nutrition, to help others gain confidence in the kitchen, to know what to buy, to know how to plan their meals, or just to know how to nourish their body in the way that you were just discussing?
Yeah, this program really opened up my world to offering services, the in-between services, the everyday needed services to educate people on food and find nourishment in everyday living. Um, for the longest time, I was really struggling to find the kind of service that I wanted to offer people, the kind of help that I know that food can bring, the community that food can bring to our lives. So after I graduated, I decided to pivot my business from online coaching to more in-person personal chef services. So I offer personal chef services now where I grocery shop for clients. I bring the food right to their house. I cook them a week's worth of meals using their containers and their own dishes. I clean up the whole kitchen and fill their fridge and freezer. So
Nice.
everything is super custom. So
Yeah.
depending on whether they have kids, how many portions they need, if they'd like them ready to grab and go or pre-portioned out calorie-wise, if they have specific symptoms that they're working on or long-term health goals, we include those. Any surgeries or medical complications along the way, we adjust as needed. So I really enjoy the challenge and the personality of what I do, because it just does seem so intentional.
Mhm.
I also offer menu plans, offer custom recipes. I'm working to collaborate with some practitioners in Calgary, like naturopathic doctors and other nutritionists that have lots of unique resources for how to deal with medical complications, but no real practical way of implementing them in their diets for
Yeah.
their clients. So I work to build really delicious food that's easy and approachable for people to cook so they can actually include those things.
Oh, I love you bridging that gap because, yeah, sometimes we can have the knowledge, but it's the application of it, right? Yes, these foods are great for me, but whoo, my life is busy. I've got so much going on, right? Like, how do I actually
Totally.
pull this into daily or weekly menus that make sense for the reality of my life? So I love that you
Yeah.
have got those two together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with kids too. Like a lot of people that are struggling with health issues are in the busiest time of their lives, or they have to take care of their kids or their parents.
Yeah.
And getting kids to eat stuff like liver and fish is really hard to do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
finding sneaky ways of getting vegetables into muffins, like zucchini
Mm.
muffins, is something I love practicing.
Love it. Love it. Some strategy there. I love
Yeah.
that. That's good. That's good. So, can we talk a little about your experience when you were at CSNN, right? So, you mentioned that you were kind of hybrid model, both in person and online. How was that for you? How was the other students, the community, your teachers? Like, can you talk us through what it was like to really study there?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I was doing work full time and I was also studying to take my culinary red seal at the same time. So I was pretty much jam-packed that year of school.
Yeah.
Um, and the flexibility of being able to be in person and online was absolutely perfect for me. I really love being actually in the class, learning from the teachers, being able to ask tangent questions and get onto a whole new route of thought or different nutrient research that were kind of applicable at the time. Getting to know a lot of my other students and classmates as well to see what kind of walks of life had brought them there, whether it was their own personal experience wanting to better themselves and their knowledge or their new career aspirations. I really enjoyed having a class with somebody who had eco-science background who could talk more about how food gets processed and how oil and gas plays in now and the fertility of the soil that we grow our food in.
Mhm.
So it was so cool to be able to be in class and breathe through that learning culture of being introduced to the teachers and the classmates at the same time.
Mhm.
Um, Also, having the flexibility of working from home was great on like the days you're snowed in the winter or the days that you catch a cold, but you don't want to fall behind on work. You can tune in and take it at your own pace, which was fantastic.
Love it. Now, a lot of times when you finish in an industry, regardless of what it is, you're done school, that's kind of it. You're cast out into the world by yourself. You're on your own. Now, since you've graduated, how do you have connections? Like, did you stay connected to the school, to the alumni? What are the ways that you feel supported post-graduation?
After graduation, especially since it was a time in the world where we're all getting out of isolation and starting to move into the next phase of our life, it was definitely tricky to stay connected. It very much had to be an intentional pursuit to be able to stay connected with the alumni and with classmates and stuff. But it was one that I was excited to make that intentional pursuit. So I graduated and immediately got on with the Alumni Association. I continue to go to the annual conferences every year just to get my annual dose of updated research, my connection with new friends, old friends, and possible opportunities to learn more about the supplement world, which to
Mhm.
be frank is totally not what I specialize in as somebody focused around food.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's nice to learn more in a professional setting.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, then you just mentioned the conference. We just had the conference last weekend. I was able to meet you in person. It's so nice to be able to get connected as a community of graduates every now and then because we can, as you said, working from home, we can kind of isolate ourselves into our work. So it is lovely. I
for
love to
sure.
be connected on that bigger kind of scale, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all rock stars in our own worlds. I mean, all of us practitioners and business owners have to wear multiple hats. And
Mhm.
sometimes it does feel very isolating to have to navigate all those pitfalls by ourselves. But to be able to go into a room full of people at the conference that have done all those trials, has
Mhm.
done the work of building the website and doing the administration and marketing and whatever else we need to do.
Yeah.
Um,
So many
it's
things.
nice.
All the hats we wear. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to share resources too of new programs that come out that may lessen our admin time or automate some of our work, be able to collaborate and refer out to people that do specialize and be able to get your clients the best care as like a collaborative association. So
Mhm.
that's what I love about the conference. It's so nice to be able to find people and the different things that they're passionate about and be able to integrate that into your own practice. So you don't really feel that alone.
Agreed, agreed. I love that. Well, and thank you so much for taking the time with us today. Can you tell everyone where to find you, right? How do we track you down and connect with you?
Definitely. My business is called Jen Nourish. You can find me on my website at jennourish.ca. You can learn more about the different chef packages that I offer or nutritional consulting that's on the website there. I also have Instagram at Jennourish and a Facebook page as well, Jennourish Facebook page.
Perfect. So we can find you and follow you. Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And just a reminder to everyone watching, CSN has multiple branches across Canada and distance education, as we just talked about, very flexible learning formats and schedules. And if you'd love to learn more on CSNN and the programs or to request a brochure, please visit csnn.ca/study. Again, Jenna, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Totally my pleasure. Thank you so much, Joanna.